So make no mistake, climate change is real, and we're living with the effects, and it's going to grow. And the extreme weather events that we're looking forward to will grow with what do they call it? Increasing frequency, duration, intensity. Shane will tell you that as an engineer, that's something they would put in their reports, FDIs or things. So what we have here is we've now transitioned is we're living with extreme weather events. So if we move past awareness into common cause, one of the things I've often said is that no one is immune from these extreme weather events and the catastrophes they trigger. What's important, though, in my mind, that I have to separate the fact that meteorological effects, like there might be a news person, we'll call it a weather person, who might actually be listening into the show, I'm not too sure, who said, Lytton hit 49.6. The problem is their meter is hidden in the shade next to our riparian zone. Lytton was actually at 55 degrees Celsius plus for more than 3 days straight last year. So we now know that's the byproduct of extreme heat. So, and I say this because science needs empirical data. If we're going to have any hope in taking on and preparing for these extreme weather events, I wanted to make sure that after awareness comes common cause. We have a chance to prepare our homes against extreme weather events and the catastrophes it triggers, but we need to have a reason. We need to have a why. And that why in my community has always been, and it has been for 8,000 years, land and resources are managed for future generations. So that means we wouldn't hammer the resources today. We wouldn't exploit, we'd extract. We'd manage the land and resources, take what we need, but ensuring that there was the same as if not more opportunity for tomorrow. So those principles were, of course, impacted by colonization. And obviously, we're facing this global existential crisis today. So what we've done now is I did a presentation on June 1st of 2022, which I called Healthy Built Environments. And again, these videos and that, they're all online. If you look at the biography, we can always share that. If you just look it up, you'll see here is that it listed everything that we're staring down of growing with physical impacts, but also psychological, emotional, spiritual impacts. And so as we start transitioning and experiencing more and more of these extreme weather events, right now I'm in Chilliwack, it's raining outside. Is it an atmospheric river, or is it rain? The point is now we think every time the sun shines, it's extreme heat. Every time it rains, it's an atmospheric river. So people are starting to build up some fear. But how do we alleviate this fear that people are building up? Because these psychological impacts are different from physiological impacts. And I think that for me, a big concern that I have is that we need to be able to show British Columbians and Canadians that we're going to be okay. So awareness, common cause. We're all in this together. No one is immune, and we have a plan. But a plan requires action. So after then is this like, so what then is action? How do we address people's mental, physical, emotional, spiritual needs? Well, hope springs from action. Make no mistake. A big part of the DRR report is these are the investments that we can be making to ensure that the end results of these extreme weather events and the catastrophes, we can reduce their impacts. Because the one thing that's unequivocal in my mind is that we cannot eliminate the risk, nor can we eliminate the consequence. What we can do is mitigate it. So a big part of our plan forward and the action forward is we have to make investments in reducing the consequences, but we also have to make investments in our response mode. So action, what are these actions? What do they look like? Is it storing water so that during drought, we have water for irrigation? Is it doing forest fire hazard reduction in the wildlife urban interface? These reports are all out there. So the actions are there, but we need to start showing more of these success stories, because the more we experience these catastrophes, the more we're not going to feel right in our hearts and our minds. So it really behooves our states, whether they be Indigenous, municipal, regional, provincial, or federal, that we need to get boots on the ground, and we need to demonstrate to Canadians and British Columbians that we have a plan and this is what we're doing. Now, the last part of my opening is, okay, do we do it alone? One of the challenges that we had from 1988 till 2021 was there was a lot of people who said climate change wasn't real. And I said, I think we're beyond that, right? But one of the things I'm starting to see now that is starting to surface is that it's now too late. It's an exercise in futility, that nothing we say or do matters, that the worst case scenarios are going to hammer us. I haven't found it, but recently there was a book released on September 1st called The Inconvenient Apocalypse. So already we're starting to see at least 3 books out there that's basically saying that when we had the chance, we didn't do it, and now batten your hatches. So I just want to say in my opening here is that our future is never predetermined. It is what we do today that determines our future. And the thing is, we can't do it alone. An important part about what the report talks about, what's going to be presented in the next 3 hours, is the fact is it's all of us working together on the same thing, having a common cause. Let's manage the land and resources of today to ensure that our children and grandchildren have something for tomorrow. And that's still doable. Our future is not predetermined. What we say or do today will determine our future, and investments, not costs, investments is what will get us there. So and I'll wrap up here by just saying, some of you may have seen some of my videos. Obviously they're there. I see things differently. I introduced myself as a husband, as a father, and a grandfather. And that is why when I get an opportunity to share, I want you guys to believe as well, because I do. I believe in our collective future, but I do believe that we do need the federal government, the provincial government, the corporations, and us as individuals to be all working together. The only way we're going to have a quality of life tomorrow is by working together. And I believe they call it collaboration. So thank you very much for asking me to open this event. And Shane, I'll turn it back over to you.
Great, thank you. Thank you. I think Sahar is going to run the next poll.